Hello everyone, and now welcome to a game between INSUP versus, SyDe. This game taking place here on Tide Hunters 1.2. Insuperable spawning as the blue undead player on the bottom right-hand side of Tide Hunters. Meanwhile, we're going to be looking at this microphone. Meanwhile, we're looking at SyDe spawning as the yellow human off to the side here. All right, things are getting underway. Let's see how things are going to go. Maybe I should get a new mic, but I think a new mic would cost like, I think the SM, was it the 57 that people were recommending, which seems to be the standard for podcast and streaming mics. And well, I do have the setup for it already, so maybe one day I'll be able to keep everything together, pull everything together. Let me know how the audio is with the microphone off to the side a little bit like this, not talking directly into it, because trying to talk directly into the mic actually has it block my vision just a little, but then trying to EQ myself when I'm talking like this versus talking like this is a bit different as well. So, well, always fun trying to play with sound and audio and make things better. Archmage off to the north side here, going to go straight after that Forest Troll High Priest. The remainder of the creeps now walking their way back, but they're not going to really be using any of their spells. That's one of the reasons, or one of the ways you can, well, trick the AI here. The Rock Golem not going to be tossing any boulders, and that Mud Golem not going to be casting any of that slow, allowing the Archmage and the Militia to clear out this creep camp fairly efficiently. Archmage picks up True Shot Aura, will benefit that Water Elemental and himself for a little bit there, getting in a 7% damage bonus. Coming back around, Lich now trying to put in trying to defend against that Footman who is attempting to put in pressure, but really not going to be able to do all that much. The Footman smartly retreats, knowing that there's not much he can do in the long run. Meanwhile, Archmage continuing to go after these creep camps here. Giant Sea Turtle and Sea Turtle will be cleared up, and now that SyDe has dropped 2 water elementals here, and the undead INSUP already setting up the expansion. I'm curious as to whether SyDe is going to try and set up his own expansion off to the north. It looks like that is going to be the case. Militia already making their way across over there. Archmage trying to run on through. Water Elementals could be coming to an end. There is one skeletal minion trying to engage here, as the Archmage does not have enough mana yet for another Water Elemental. Getting to level 3, however, is part of the agenda, as the Lich now going to be making his way over as well, having Claws of Attack +5 as a bit of bonus damage. All right, unit's going to get finished off here. Archmage, going to get to level 3 on the money. Level 2 water elementals, but just as important is going to be the fact that he gets a little bit of bonus mana and to get to level, to place down another water elemental here. All right, in is that water elemental Footman and trying to engage here. That is a lot of damage getting racked up. There goes one ghoul, but that was denied there with a Dark Ritual. But that Dark Ritual actually netted negative experience or negative mana, as Lich still looking to see what his follow-up plans are going to be. A lot of damage getting racked up there. That is +4 damage per attack on that Lich. Lich taking quite a few fireballs from that Archmage, as the water elemental now going to be making a slow trek off to, well, that 3 o'clock location. SyDe now looking to set up more expansion, or set up this expansion for the first time here. Going to get it up and operational in just a moment, as the ghouls are looking to double back around. Archmage does have Boots of Speed and should be able to push back these ghouls, taking a little bit of damage per auto attack there, as the ghouls may want to just retreat back. Both sides are going to be running up on 2 bases. Both sides are not teching the tier 2 yet, or here down to the south. So that fast expansion, however, but it is going to be a delayed tech to tier 2 on both sides, as both sides are investing very heavily into Footmen and Ghouls, respectively, for that army. All right, there is a big Frost Nova there to try and get that last hit there. Meanwhile, that Mantle of Intelligence could end up getting picked up by the Archmage. Archmage trying to rack up a little bit more damage onto that Ghoul, and ends up getting that final shot off. That plus damage coming in from the Circuit of Mobility and True Shot Aura really starting to rack up there. All right, ghouls don't have any armor, but that little bit of extra damage, making sure to finish off that ghoul as we're looking at 1 or 2 more shots needed. And there goes another ghoul, Archmage, halfway to level 3. Meanwhile, Lich is still trying to get that little bit of extra experience to get to level 3 here. The Mantle of Intelligence, I do not believe, was picked up as the units are still trying to engage here. All right, Lich going to continue to fight back and forth. There's sorry for the adjustment in the overall, as I think that's one roll right there. Okay, so level 3 now on that Lich, going to try and push its way back across here. Meanwhile, Nerubian Tower going to do a good job keeping the Archmage away, but the Footmen are already diving on into the position. Lich is taking quite a bit of damage, and now a low hit point Footman could end up getting denied as well. More Frost Nova damage. Lich trying to fight back the other way. Wants to stay on a Blight, as that does get a little Dark Ritual going on to some of those ghouls, but he's the one who needs to, heal up some of that precious damage. Archmage would have benefited from that Mantle of Intelligence +3 dropped over there at the creep camp, but did not do so. Footman now trying to run after the Lich, perhaps to try and give it a nice little love tap to disrupt the healing, as the Archmage is now going to be coming back around. All right, in comes the Water Elemental. They're going to run back the other way. There is the disruption as the Lich now floats away. 167. We're getting another Dark Ritual there. Perhaps try to land another Frost Nova. All right, expansion of SyDe up and operational. Tech to tier 2 halfway done. Tech to tier 2 on INSUP about halfway done, as well as this has become a pretty even match overall in the human versus undead matchup. Well, no, SyDe and INSUP. Both sides, there's only one side. Well, both sides are doing similar strategies, except one side. Well, SyDe is SyDe is human, while SyDe getting a lucky break, picking up that Mantle of Intelligence, and now using a Scroll of Town Portal to head back home. Is he perhaps heading off to the north here? Yes, to get that Arcane Vault, get a lot of healing going. Did also use a Clarity Potion, but has to be very wary at that the Lich could at some point just come out of the corner and land in a nasty Frost Nova, really depleting the hit points of that Archmage. Footman now coming back across here, trying to get in a little bit of damage, but a Scroll of Healing used by the Lich, getting all of the units back into at least the yellow. Footman acting in a little bit of damage, being a little bit too gung-ho, and ends up taking one for the team, even though he was just by himself. Tome of Intelligence and what was that? Sentry Wards dropped, as we are going to be looking at another drop here. Archmage dropping Water Elemental's Footman and getting ready for this engagement here, taking down at least one Acolyte already. Right, minimal mining going on here, as more Acolytes should be making their way back over. Lich now going to be coming back across. He's low on mana, though. Not going to be able to get in those Icy Blasts as expected, as we're looking at the Haunted Goldmine at about half hit points and still dropping. All right, more damage adding back on up here. The Zeppelin able to retreat back. This was a Nerubian Tower, not a Spirit Tower, so although it does slow the attack, it does not deal much damage, and it is not piercing. Nerubian Tower actually deals normal damage, so it does not deter that Goblin Zeppelin nearly as much. Mountain King now joining in on the battle. Death Knight already out on the battlefield as well. This is pretty much almost played in a mirror match here. Both players opening up with intelligence-based heroes, both following up with strength-based heroes that are useful at trying to snipe down other units, or, well, in the Death Knight's case, be able to heal up their brethren. And there you go. There's that 200 hit point heal at just the right moment. Mountain King comes down, snipes down a ghoul, going to continue to fight. Another ghoul gets taken down. Goblin Zeppelin picking up that Archmage, but Gargoyles are now in the air trying to give chase and could give problems. What is happening here? A bunch of Footmen missing their flight, being forced to take it on foot, as a Water Elemental could perhaps try and delay himself purposely, but doesn't want to give that free experience either. Mountain King picking up a Staff of Teleportation, Potion of Invisibility, and a Scroll of Healing. However, INSUP knows exactly where that Mountain King is, as there is a sentry ward right there. Mountain King still nearby, perhaps going to try and land a Stormbolt or do something. If INSUP was watching the minimap, he knows that the Mountain King is nearby and invisible. What is going on? Footman taking a nice icy blast there. One ghoul getting a shot off there. There's a Staff of Sanctuary. So a Staff of Sanctuary, we're already at tier 3, getting up Paladins now, and perhaps going to try and train up Knights and Flying Machines. Units still looking to retreat back, so we are looking at a level 3 Archmage, level 1 Mountain King, and a level 1 Paladin are to be added here in just a moment. Still, there are Knights now finally being trained up. Second barracks being placed down as well. Those Sundering Blades dealing extra damage against that medium armor against those Crypt Fiends, as we are looking at a Dark Ranger as the third and final undead hero. All right, Gargoyles making their way over, going to be able to easily clean up all of this here. Mountain King's invisibility still working for now, but could be coming to an end soon. Archmage looking to heal up. Second barracks not fully operational. Knights now starting to join in, as we're looking at a 57 supply compared to 58 supply fight. All right, Obsidian statues. We're gonna make keep the glue and keep the cart. Keep the wheels on the undead army, making sure that it just doesn't fall apart. Being able to heal up constantly, being able to lash out with those powerful undead spells, Death Coil, Frost Nova, and deny undead spells. Eventually, once that or deny human spells, once that Dark Ranger gets to level 2 for silence. Meanwhile, SyDe trying to take this opportunity to clear red creep camps of his own. Off on the far side of the map now, Mountain King finally becomes visible once more, as we are looking into siege engines from SyDe. I originally thought that SyDe was going to be going for flying machines. No, going for siege engines instead, as a big Frost Nova lands right there. All right, clearing out this red creep camp, and then, did he just Staff of Teleportation back? What was that? That was a Fane. That was a Staff of Teleportation, or it looked like a Staff of Teleportation. No, all 3 heroes are down here. Not sure what to make of this. No Scroll of Town Portal on any of these units here, and somehow INSUP actually opted to back away while pressuring the expansion. I'm not quite sure what to make of this. Mountain King does have a Staff of Teleportation, so perhaps it was feigning, as we are now looking at the siege engines putting pressure on the slaughterhouse and the buildings down to the south. So siege engine Knights, footmen are going to start taking a little bit more, are going to be rotated out, perhaps even killed off, as many of them are so low on hit points. Even attacking this Gargantuan Sea Turtle could be hazardous to his health right there, as a Gargantuan Sea Turtle making its way back around. Mountain King will get to level 2 here, and now we're looking at the Paladin sitting at level 2, a double level up, as we're now looking at the army coming back across here. Archmage could be in trouble. There is no Scroll of Town Portal in order to get free, but the Death Knight, only sitting at level 2, doesn't present that big of a threat just quite yet. Flying Machine, while finishing off a Gargoyle there. Mountain King wants to get away, has a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability, might end up using it. There's a Staff of Sanctuary instead to get him back home quickly. All right, Mountain King regenerating hit points quickly, regenerating mana quickly. Paladin could give a nice burst heal to that Mountain King as well, as the Archmage looks to back up and perhaps clear out some more green creep camps in his own neck of the woods. It was a fake Staff of Teleportation. All right. Coming back through. Cameras on. All right, coming back through. Flying Machine, Knights, Archmage, Paladin getting ready in position again. Where is that Mountain King? Finally healed back up, ready to go. Now, INSUP is running on 2 full bases, sitting at 70 over 70 supply. Meanwhile, 66, yes, that's my wife, 66 over 84 supply here. So pretty even matchup overall, as the Flying Machines are looking to back up as well. Crypt Fiends, Ghouls now making their way across here. Knights still can be trained up here. Flying Machines looking for those targets. Not seeing any Destroyers here, as the Knights are getting taken down pretty quickly. Flying Machines have nothing to target. Meanwhile, the Knights also have Roar. So this is one of those situations where often undead players, they can control the pacing of the game by whether or not they enter the fight with Destroyers. But with SyDe using a Beast a Scroll of the Beast, able to get 25% damage bonus, seeing that there wasn't any destroyers for Devour Magic yet, getting a little bit of an advantage there. Gonna fly and shoot a little bit more Archmage, seeing that level 4 continuing to put in pressure. Level 3 now on the Paladin, as Crypt Fiends are getting taken down. Knights still continuing the charge here. Flying Machines able to take down that Destroyer pretty quickly, as there is still some, well, Scroll of the Beast damage bonus for those Knights. Units now looking to retreat back, as we're seeing that 62 supply compared to 55, and that is with INSUP trying to retrain up a little bit more. That Slaughterhouse about to be taken down. All right. Coming back down to the south tier, there are giant sea turtles gonna get cleaned up by militia. A ghoul getting caught out in open field. Mountain King still sitting only at level 2, not yet quite at level 3, as the Flying Machines, they do have the bombarding run and gonna be able to take down that Slaughterhouse with really no effort whatsoever. Mountain King will get to level 3 here, and this may be enough to give SyDe the distinctive advantage over his opponent. He has the hero level advantage and army size already. A 4-3-3 going up against a 4-2-2, I believe. And with that Dark Ranger, well, difficult there. With that Dark Ranger also just, at seeing that level 2. Death Knight really wanting to get to level 3. Water Elementals coming back across. There goes a Stormbolt onto an Abomination. Both sides going to be fighting away. Archmage actually venturing a little bit too far forward. Going to be backing up here as both sides fighting across here. Abominations, Flying Machines, both sides engaging. No destroyers in the air, as a Staff of Sanctuary saves another Knight once more. That's got to be frustrating, as those Knights do absorb quite a bit of damage before, well, getting denied there. So constantly denying experience, as INSUP has been unable to get to level 3 ease on that Death Knight. As I say that, he'll get to level 3 from that Null Warden there. Perhaps an investment into more than one Staff of Sanctuary across multiple heroes would have been a good call, as you see heavy investment into Knights, one of which could have been saved earlier. Coming across down to the south here, the hero level advantage is going to become neutralized in just a moment. Both sides sitting on 4-3-3 heroes, trying to rack up a little bit more damage. There goes a Death Coil Orb of Fire going straight for that Crypt Fiend. The Crypt Fiend, however, able to back up nicely, as this Knight is now looking to retreat back. One Crypt Fiend getting taken down. Archmage could be in trouble, down to 50 hit points. Uses the Scroll of Town Portal. Are we going to see some damage onto some Obsidian statues as a dying Death Blow or departing Death Blow? And yes, we do. All right, DK should just sell his Greater Healing. He's got a better chance, well, of winning if he more supply and wins the engagement. Well, Death Knight, the Greater Healing Potion. Remember, anytime you sell something, you have to be able to translate that back into a unit quickly. INSUP is currently training at all of his production buildings, all of his production buildings. So there's no real reason to sell that Potion of Greater Healing, well, at this immediate moment. Timing overall could have helped, or could help. Wand of Mana Stealing perhaps is one of the items that he could try and sell as well. As fights go on, all the enemy heroes often are limited on mana. Here we are going into an engagement. 2-3 Knights, Flying Machines across overhead. We're going to go into an engagement here. Death Knight going to try and engage. There's a Stormbolt onto the Abomination. Abomination, however, going to be able to stick around and still be solid, as the Lich is trying to rack up damage across these units. Now, the big, without destroyers, the Flying Machines are actually fairly useless, because that bombing run, it doesn't deal that much damage. Perhaps they're going to try and hit the Banshees or some of the other units as well, those unarmored units, as we see a beautiful Staff of Sanctuary at the last moment again. Banshee gets taken down. Silence onto the Paladin. Paladin not going to be able to heal. And no Stormbolt or anything of that type of that Lich, as the Paladin is still quite in a bit of trouble. He gets taken down. The silence lasting long enough to stop that Divine Shield. Another Banshee getting taken out here, as the Archmage continuing this battle once more. All right, Scroll of Town Portal to get out of a tight spot, as Knights are falling as well. The overinvestment in Flying Machines has often been a problem for humans. What is the right number of Flying Machines to train? If you train up enough Flying Machines, you can counter those destroyers. But then once you counter those destroyers, what else can you really do? All right, siege engines now making their way to that 3 o'clock location to try and stop the expansion or stop the mining. Not going to work out well, as one siege engine is already down, with the second one to follow. However, the big advantage for SyDe is that he does have this well, 8 o'clock expansion up and operational, as well as we are looking at the, well, are we seeing a paladin? Yeah, paladin actually resurrected from the tavern. I would have expected him to start resurrecting back at the altar of kings much earlier, as soon as that paladin was gone, to make up that distance and time. And SyDe is now starting to fall apart as well as he tries to retreat back with this archmage. No boots of speed on the archmage. Archmage now trying to run away. There's a scroll of town portal. Paladin could be in some major trouble. There's a divine shield, and here we are. There's a holy light, buying that potion of mana and getting away. SyDe being forced to use a couple of consumable items right there. It may not have looked like very much, but forced to use a potion of lesser invulnerability, a scroll of town portal, and a potion of mana to save up all of the paladin and these remaining units here. Luckily, it did work out well for him. He's sitting on the supply advantage and 75 compared to 63, but the expansion here of SyDe may end up falling, or at least forcing an engagement. Crypt Fiend's Lich now getting ready for another hit and run tactic, and here we are off to the north. That was a fake scroll of town portal, and instead just walking in the units, thereby saving a bit of gold while moving his army into position, and while forcing the Lich to use a scroll of town portal. 63 supply going up against 63 supply. We are once again even in terms of army sizes. INSUP is doing a great job just trying to stay constant and consistent with the game here, and well, trying to claw his way back in. Flying machines looking for targets, perhaps easy buildings to take down. A Tomb of Relics still under construction here, as Temple of the Dam still training up more and more banshees. You want banshees to steal knights? Yeah, once banshees start stealing knights, that's pretty much going to be the end of it. But we are only at adept. We do not have possession, so the likelihood of that happening is currently 0, unless this game goes long enough to finish that research. All right, fly machines overhead here. Fly machine ready to, well, shoot down any destroyers that try and pop their head out. Fly machines also have that siege bombardment, so it is fairly useful against the ziggurats and these other buildings here. And in the long run, one ziggurat already taken down, upside down on supply. Meat wagon taking well, a few rounds of attack, could be forced to retreat back here. 9 to 12 damage, 1 or 2 more attacks onto that meat wagon. Meat wagon needs one more bomb as the units are going to be engaging. And here we are, Knight finally taking it down. Long drawn out battle. The mortar teams actually joining in on the fight here, perhaps catching many of those banshees off guard. That unarmored armor type just taking so much bonus damage from those fragmentation positions. Meanwhile, the mortar teams are now completely exposed and could easily get taken down as well. There goes one mortar team. There goes another there, as the Archmage sits at level 5 and the Paladin gets to level 4. All right, hero level advantage for no one, it appears, but INSUP does say game as SyDe takes the win. All right, INSUP having the larger score there, and the battle still seemed fairly even overall, but the hero level advantage perhaps starting to become too much. The Paladin getting up to level 4, Mountain King getting up to level 4, as the heroes were starting to, starting to get low on INSUP side. Let me know what you guys think about this game in the comments below, and whether or not INSUP left a bit too soon. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.